Thank you very much. Well, I'm going to ride the crest. I feel us up there. I noticed when I was sitting over there that there's some women in the audience tonight, and that sort of makes me feel a little uncomfortable, because see, I was traumatized by the very first woman in my life. Yeah, I can remember at the moment of my birth hearing my mother go, "You're going to pay for this! Oh, you're going to pay!" And 3 days later, I was circumcised. I think maybe she got her way. Yeah. She tried to be a loving parent, though. She insisted I be breastfed. She also insisted that she not be personally involved. They went out and they tried to hire a wet nurse, but they couldn't find one. So what they did, they wound up buying this chimpanzee, you know. Oh, thank you. That's all right. See, these here, I just throw out a bunch of them, and wherever they hit, it's fine, you know, no problem at all. Yeah, having been nursed by a chimpanzee has left me emotionally scarred, though. I had a hard time bonding it, but my parents tried to give me a spiritual background. They raised me in this religion called abandonment. Yeah, the baptismal gown is a three-piece outfit. It was a burlap bag with a rock in the bottom and a rope to tie it shut. That's why I know how to get the knot untied from the scarf I learned young. Yeah, growing up in that situation, I stayed away from home a lot. Like I found this little neighbor girl. I was like about 7 years old, and I found this little neighbor girl to play doctor with. And she found another little neighbor boy to play lawyer. They sued me for malpractice. They not only got my tricycle and my wagon, they wound up getting my puppy. Yeah, oh, thank you. Yeah, it was sad, man. So my parents, they decided to get me this replacement pet, you know. So they got me this turtle, and I named him Fluffy. Fluffy and I'd sit on the couch, you know, watching TV, and I'd reach down and stroke Fluffy's head, and he'd take his paw and hit at my hand. And one day we went outside to play. You know how turtles like to romp. And yeah, so we went outside to play, and I picked up this stick. And I got to take responsibility for what happened next, okay? I took this stick and I threw it just as hard as I could. I said, "Fetch, Fluffy, fetch." I'm not real sure what happened next. Either Fluffy ran off or he's still out there fetching somewhere. I think I hear him over there in the corner right now, as a matter of fact. Yeah. Growing up, you know, that happened when I was like 8. When I was like 10, my parents, this is getting close to Christmas time, and I remember my parents getting me this Lionel Super Cheap train for Christmas. And of course, Dad spent all morning putting it together and all afternoon playing with it. And this really ticked me off. So I knew I'd always been able to work Mom before. So I went out in the kitchen. I know, it's great, isn't it? It's great. I love it. I went out in the kitchen and I said, "Mommy, Bobby, Daddy won't let me play with my tray. Daddy won't let me play with my tray." I made a mistake. I had forgotten that this lady'd been up since 4:30 that morning, cooking a turkey, taking the paper off them frozen giblets and all this other stuff, chopping walnuts for the jelly. She was in no mood for me whatsoever. She reached over and grabbed me by the hair of the head, lifted me 3 inches up off the floor, took me in the front room, and she said, "Charles, you let this child play with that train right now. Do you hear me? Do you hear me?" I said, "He hears you, Mom." I'm like, "Oh, he hears you. All right, he hears you." Made me wish I hadn't even asked about the darn train. What, am I going too slow or sweating too much or what? Ain't no sense in all of us being nervous. I got this down pat for everybody. So you people just relax, okay? All right, fine. Yeah, I had this crazy uncle. He was really crazy. He was like a suicide maniac. I mean, 1 week he tried to commit suicide 31 times. I don't think he was real serious about it, though.
31.
Yeah, 31, because see, if he is serious, he'd have gave it a little more effort.
One time.
Yeah, one time if it works right. But see, he wasn't only just suicidal, he is also stupid. Like on Monday of this one week, he tried to commit suicide by slashing his wrist with an electric razor. Oh, that's how dumb he is. Yeah, and try to gas himself by putting his head in a microwave oven. I mean, the guy's stupid. Then on Wednesday, wins the lottery for $17 million, dies of a heart attack. Ain't that a kick? Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, is it incest to marry your aunt? Yeah, it is, even if she's got 17 mil. Okay. I thought maybe you could get the law changed then. You can. Yeah, I think so. Speaking of marriage, that's a heck of a bonding experience in itself. I remember the day of my wedding looking down from the altar and seeing my bride standing down there, but instead of wearing a veil, she had on one of these rubber Richard Nixon masks. Yeah. But in the candlelight, it wasn't really all that bad, you know. She got up there and we exchanged the vows, and the preacher man said, "Well, you can kiss the bride now." And so I took and I lifted the mask up a little bit. I said, "My God, I don't ever remember quite being that drunk, you know." So I left the mask down, gave her a kiss, and we went to the honeymoon hotel then. And I decided to be romantic, so I carried her across the threshold. Now this was a mistake, because in the first place, I threw my back out of place, and in the second place, she interpreted this gesture to mean that for the rest of her life, she had a free ride. Thank God for Larry Green, man. Thank you, Larry. You great man. I love you. Larry is here the first time I performed down here. We didn't have too good of a night the night of my marriage. We went to bed and we started to make love, and being a generous person, I said, "Hey honey, would you like to get on top for a while?" And she said, "No, I don't want to move and spoil the mood." Which was an attitude she kept for the next 17 years of our marriage. Yeah. Hey, yeah, at the time of my divorce, I'm sweating like a fool. I'm going to wipe some of this stuff off, okay? The time of our divorce and that, I can't understand this. Maybe somebody that's got some psychological training or something can help me out here. She shows up the day of our divorce, claiming that she needs more alimony money and that, and she's really dressed fit to kill. I mean, she got this big fancy purse with her name written on it in French. Lee Bag. Yeah. Well, yeah. And I said, "What's the matter? Were they all out of the ones that said Lee bitch?" Hey, now wait. I accept those sort of comments, all right? But they got to be heartfelt. If you're going to groan, let's hear it. Just really groan real loud. Everybody, all at once. You didn't really have to do that, you know that. No. But that's fine. I accept groans too. Okay, well, let me tell you this then. Hey, if that's the way you're going to be. No, I just got a signal from Bob over there, and it's time for the next comedian to come up. And thank you for letting me be up here for a while tonight. My name's Terry Jackson. Good night. Have a good show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sweat.